So let me tell you a story, because I teach in stories, and we'll be out again in a few minutes. So what's happening, what I see is happening, because I always feel the environment, and that's why sometimes I don't know really what I'm going to teach on until I discern the environment. So what's happening is that folks are trying to figure out the pixie dust that Mr. Edwards has. They're trying to figure out exactly, like, you know, if I can just, all right, let me ask this question. If I get this question answered, everything's gonna, right? So we're trying to find this one question as if I get that answer. But remember, even though you wrote down that note, even though you asked the question and you wrote down the answer, you still might not know the answer right away when you go do the presentation. And you don't want to ask a question. And it's because sometimes we're comparing ourselves unfairly. And Mr. Edwards said it was perfectly. He said, you don't know my whole story. So he talked about going door to door, which is brave, by the way. So he talked about the things that he had done. It reminds me of this time I went to this Bible study, this leadership Bible study. I was doing it there with 7 of us. And the pastor gave these seeds out. And I felt like I was in elementary school again, because he had these little cartons that we were supposed to put the soil in and then put the seeds in. And he said, come back in about a month and we'll evaluate our plants. And so we all left. And that week, you know, I put my seeds, or right away that day, I put the seeds in the soil. And that week, I continued to monitor my pot. And nothing was happening. But that was okay. Because, hey, look, I don't, you know, I've never planted flowers. I'm not a botanist. I'm not really sure how long it should take for certain flowers to grow or plants to grow. So it was okay. I watered it. I put it in my sunroom. I thought everything was good. Until I called Mike Hughes, who was also at the same Bible study session. I said, Mike, what's going on? He's like, hey, bro, what's happening, man? I said, everything's good. He said, what's up? I said, real quickly, I just want to ask you about your seeds the pastor gave you. You planted them? He said, yeah, I planted them right away. I said, how's your plant look? And he says, how's yours look? I said, I'm going somewhere, stick with me. I said, I asked you first. He said, honestly, man, I had to repot it. I said, like, why'd you put in another pot? He said, it outgrew the little cart the pastor gave me. I said, what? I said, stop playing, man. He said, I can see the picture. I said, I don't want to see the picture. So he starts laughing now because he realizes I'm comparing. Watch this. So he says, what does yours look like? I said, I don't know. He says, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I can't see it yet. And he starts laughing, like uncontrollably laughing. I said, shut up, man. He's like, what do you mean you can't even see it? I said, it hasn't come out of the soil yet. And so he's like, I'm not joking, man. I repotted mine. It's unbelievable. And I said, here, watch this. This is what you all did today. I said, all right, let me ask you a question. How far did you push the seeds down in the soil? Like, was it an inch? Like, was it just one of your finger, like the finger all the way down? He's like, I don't remember, man. I said, how often do you water it? Once a day, twice a day, 3 times? Like, exactly how often? When do you water it? Like in the morning, in the evening? He's like, dude, seriously? I said, no, where did you place it in your house? Because I got mine in my sunroom. I'm not sure if I should put it on the left side or the right, where the sun sets or rises. Like, where's yours? This is what you all are doing today. You don't even realize. And this is what people are going to do, either on the network side or the B2B side. All right, so when you prospect the B2B, now exactly what do you say to past? Okay, so what do you say to insurance agents? Well, the relationship that Mr. Edwards has with his insurance agent may be different from the relationship that you have with your insurance agent. His insurance agent may be more open to multiple streams of income. Your insurance agent may feel like, I'm captive, I'm not doing anything, no matter what you say. My point is, there's too many variables for him to tell you exactly what to say, and you get the same results. So sometimes what we're doing, instead of using it as framework, because this framework is brilliant. So the notes I'm taking, I'm thinking, man, how awesome is that to use that framework for handling objections? But his exact words may not work for your pastor that he used for the pastor for the group that he has, because that pastor may be open for letting people in, and somebody else's pastor may not be. Okay. So after I hung up with Mike Humes, I called Linda Gray, who was also in that same Bible study session. Linda, she says, hey, Darnell. I said, remember that plant pastor gave us the seeds? She said, yep. I said, how's yours look? She says, it grew out the first week, and then it dropped back down, like it's dead. So I started laughing. Because sometimes somebody else's failure makes you feel good about yours. Let's just keep it real. I'm like, at least mine, it ain't grown, but it ain't died yet, right? It's still in this embryonic stage. So she was like, it's not funny. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm just laughing. She's like, how's yours look? I said, well, it hasn't come out yet. She's like, oh. So to make a long story short, because I'm not going to teach on that the whole time. We go back about a month later, right? Well, we go every week, but in a month we bring our pots back with the soil and the seeds. So we're there. It's about 7 of us. And they all the plants really do look different. Mike Humes comes in, just like forest. And Linda Gray, hers, all of them that came out were all drooping, right? So they were all like touching the ground. And mine, you can see it, but you need like a magnifier. It was like a little teeny bit, like popping out the soil. Here's my point. So the pastor's laughing. He says, you guys are funny. He said, I gave you all different seeds because God didn't make any of us the same. And because someone has success one way, does that mean you're going to have the exact same way? Yes, they all take some nourishment, right? All some cultivation, all some taking care of. But it doesn't mean we're all going to grow the same way. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. So even in the B2B arena, and I love this because Mrs. Larry proved it in Mr. Edwards because they both said, he says, look, most of my groups are bank track. And she was like, well, I'm just the opposite. Most of mine are payroll to duck. And it just goes to show you, if you interviewed all the 6-figure income earners, even on our team, you get slightly different things on all the same system, all heading the same direction to success, but different lanes on the highway. Everybody with me? Yeah. Some move fast, some move slow, some in and out of lanes. But we all get this. Some had a couple of accidents, you know what I'm saying? But some we actually took off the road. But anyway, that's another story. But my point is that you get all these different people to come in, and I just don't want you all to think because you came to this class one time that you'll be a 6-figure earner tomorrow. Right? You got to come over and over again. One time is not, even in the B2B arena, one time is not enough, because once you go out and act on the homework assignments that Mr. Edwards gave you, when you come back, you'll receive the same information, but you'll define assign a new meaning to the same information. So you'll define it differently because you're in a different place. Same information, but you're in a different place. This is why you can tell your kids the same thing, but as they get older, they'll receive it, they're going to appreciate it differently. Make sense? Yes. So just make sure that you keep coming over and over, because a lot of folks say, well, I took the class. I've done, like, you all know what we say about that, right? That's like saying, I've taken the shower. For real? Like, for the year, you're good? Like, for the year, you're good. Okay. So your business starts to stink, just like, right? So my point is, come over and over and over again, right? Repetition is key. All right, so I wanted to mention that. Second thing I want to talk about